Hello and welcome to this video, which is a request from Andy, and it's how to record the patterns in Groove Agent. So we're going to open up Groove Agent. You can see I've got Groove Agent and SE here. We're going to take a look at SE a little later. And the kit that I've got loaded, I've got one of the preset kits, retroactive, and it's got some patterns on it, which you can play with the pads here. Etc. That kind of thing. It's probably one of the more improvisational and creative parts of using Groove Agent, because there's some really useful patterns built in, and with the full version of Groove Agent you can actually edit them as well, which isn't the case with SE. But recording them. So if you just try recording and press these pads on screen, nothing happens, nothing gets recorded. But what you need to do is to look for the MIDI notes. Now I'm going to use the MIDI keyboard here, which is available in Groove Agent 5, and it shows the key zones. So here are all the individual parts of the kit, etc. And this is where the notes are that trigger the patterns. So we can see the intro is on G#1, which you can trigger obviously by pressing it here or by pressing it here. But importantly, you need the G#-1 note on your keyboard. So that's generally going to be below the normal range of most keyboards, because often they will stop at C1, possibly C0, depending on which keyboard you've got. I've just transposed down on mine, so now I've got G# here, and you can see it's actually been played by the MIDI, so we can see we've got MIDI input coming up here. And if I was to record this, that would work. I can also use the patterns for the individual parts of the kit, which is generally what I find useful for improvising and making new patterns up, because we've got a kick pattern here on E0. And you can play that along with things such as hi-hat. So there's plenty of improvisational fun to be had there, but I'm just going to hit record. So I'm going to close this window now, but those are the notes I'm going to be playing on my keyboard. So just going to turn the metronome and the pre-count on, and then just play. I'm just going to play just the pattern we just saw, so it's not going to be anything particularly interesting, but you'll get the idea from that. And then changing. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to turn the click off. You can obviously edit this in the normal way you would with any MIDI part, but opening that up shows you pretty clearly. So there we got G#-1 for the first pattern, and then A-1 for the next one. You can quantize this. Fortunately, it will deal with your bad playing. So you can see I played a little earlier, but it doesn't really care about that. It will sort the timing out because it's synced to Cubase. And that's pretty much it. So just finding those notes on the keyboard, wherever they are, by looking at Groove Agent. So say, open up Groove Agent, have a look in the patterns, and it's these notes here on the top of the pads, and then you can play them, create the MIDI data, and have at it. It's exactly the same with Groove Agent SE. So we can see here we've got a different kit programmed up, but it actually uses very similar keys. So here we've got Groove 01, etc. Got the kick on E, closed hi-hat, and then you can introduce the rim shot or whatever. So this is a really great way to just play around and get some of your own drum grooves made up from these patterns made pretty quickly. So the main difference between SE and the full version of Groove Agent is SE doesn't allow you to edit it, but given that it's included with Cubase, I think there's a huge amount to play with anyway, and Groove Agent is well worth it. I'm having lots of fun using it. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful, and I will see you again soon.